Hello, my honeys. How are you? Welcome to, hey, Raj, good to see you, like right here. Good, good. Welcome. Welcome, everyone, to your Halloween Samhain reading. The veil is very thin now, as we know, on this day. So, what a perfect day to get a message from your witch ancestors. We'll see who shows up for you, collective. So, if you are a returning subscriber here, thank you so much for your continued support. I'm growing this brand new channel, and I've been having so much fun doing lives for the last 3 days. So, hey, how are you? Is it Jazzy Baba? Jazzy Baba. Let me put my glasses on so I can be like reading people's name. Great to see you. So, yeah, we are getting ready to do this live pick a card reading. Couple of housekeeping things. I have a website, and I really have appreciated those people who have ordered a personal reading with me. I'm really getting quite a few personal readings. If you want one, the only way to get one is by going to my website, www.blackdoveoracle.com. And when you go to that website, you'll see all of my different offerings. I do not contact you in the comments. I do not direct message you. So please do not get scammed, you all. This is the only way to get a personal reading from me. Okay. And if you would like to collaborate, maybe you are a fellow tarot reader, psychic medium. If you would like to collaborate, please reach out to me via email, or if you have a business opportunity, this is my email address. Okay, you all. And also, all this information will be in the description box below. And lastly, if you could, before you leave, like, comment, or subscribe, or do all of them. I really do appreciate all your comments. I love reading them, and I really would appreciate your likes and your subscribes. It helps me grow this brand new channel. So if you don't know who I am Kamara, and I channel spirit, my ancestors, and the Divine Sibyls, who are my ancient mentors of this oracle work. So thank you so much, my honeys. And again, welcome everyone for this really cool reading we're going to do on your witch ancestors meta, like what kind of message do they have for you? Yeah. Oh, yes. I always try to have like a variety of avatars, and you all know that these avatars can be used any way that you wish, but I really try to represent folks. So I know some people wanted me to represent different genders too. I get around to it sometimes, and a majority of my folks are of the feminine, according to the stats, but that doesn't mean that you identify that way. So, I will try to mix it up gender wise too. But yeah, Raj, I'm always like trying to include my South Asian folks, as well as my African folks, as well as, my European folks or wherever folks are from. So yeah, glad you all noticed that. And I hope that you all resonate with some of these avatars. So, my honeys, let's get into the reading. We are going to clear the energy. I'm going to switch up the background a little bit. Put myself in here. Hello, you all. And then we will put the overlays for group number 1. So group number 1 is here. And let's just kind of clear the energies a little bit. How's everyone doing? Do you all celebrate Halloween wherever you are? It's Halloween here in the States. So that's kind of what we're up to. Maybe some people, the kids kind of do their own thing. I don't know if people still take their kids trick-or-treating or not, but I'm sure they do in some neighborhoods. And let's clear the energy for group number 1. Okay. So my honeys, let's just open this up. And yeah, my this is my little hat. I usually wear my hat outdoors, but but I said this is going to be my witch hat for the Halloween theme. So thank you so much, Raj. Oh, you celebrate Diwali. Yeah, I want to learn more about Diwali. If I'm pronouncing it right, it sounds like such a beautiful celebration too. So that happens around the same time, huh? Yeah, I don't get any trick or treaters. I don't even know. I never live in a neighborhood where people have a lot of children, or if they do, they're bringing them to other stuff or doing stuff at school. So I don't know. Okay, my honeys, in group number 1, let's open it up, knowing that the witch ancestor that our ancestors that need to come through are coming through. Hey, Sanonkatha. How are you? I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. Hey, I'm glad that you're here. Oh, Asia or Asa? Oh, India, Indonesia. Hey, I was in Bali in May. That's part of Indonesia. So thank you for joining me here. Okay, so group number 1, we are going to open up and see which ancestor first. We're going to use the witch deck to see what witch energy is showing up here. This deck is called a woman in total control of herself witch deck. So if you want to know what deck this is, we might read from it if I'm not familiar with. It's a deck full of witches. So I like this deck. I think I got it off of a like when it was doing a Kickstarter. So it's really a cool deck. All right, so let's just tap in. If you are identifying with group number 1, start sending in your energy, and let's just tap into the ancestor that's coming through. We have the oracle. Okay, group number 1, the oracle. So this ancestor is saying for you, group number 1, that tarot, for people in this group, tarot, maybe the mystical arts, has always been in your family. Some of you, depending on who you are, you may have Romani, is that right? Romani background, heritage. For others of you, and I don't know if this word is derogatory or not, but like people used to call folks gypsies, but I think they're called Romani now. So, excuse that if that's like not the term. But this ancestor is saying that, especially if you are a tarot reader, so you can maybe put it in the comments if you are, but she says that she often is with you when you're doing divination of some sort. If you're not Romani, don't worry about it, but this ancestor does help you with divination, maybe some of your own psychic tools. She's saying something about someone having dark hair running through the family. Like if you have really dark hair, like jet black hair that runs through the family, she's also that ancestor. Let me see if there's anything else in the book that would allude to further details of this ancestor. And we're going to pull some cards for this ancestor too. Yeah. This ancestor says, you already know who she is. She says that she's with you all the time, even in the decks that you use. If you are a reader or a tarot reader, you could just read for yourself. She's saying some people just have their own personal practice. Maybe you're not doing anything on social media. She's saying, that doesn't matter. Whether you do tea leaves or ruins, she's with you when you are doing your divination. And she says that you have a really good intuition. She says that it's time for you to even get more comfortable with that intuition. And trusting that intuition, trusting the sources of your work, which she is one of them. She says that you have a really beautiful ancestral team. Uh, she calls them a team because she says that they are mostly around you when you're doing this work. They're encouraging you. She says for some of you in group number 1 that maybe some people in your family have lost their connection with divination, that they've lost their, she's saying their taste for the oracle, for the, she's using a word and I'm trying to get it. They've lost their taste for, well, I'm going to use the word divination, but she's saying another word and I'm trying to, she's saying that some of your family, even though they've lost their connection, they are still quite mystical in the way that they relate to life. And she says that if you get back involved in this practice, you may encourage other people in your family to reconnect with, she's saying with the tarot, but she says that there's some people out there who have very specific things that they might do, like reading teacups, reading tea leaves, reading beeswax. I'm going to do one of those readings too. But she is saying that you may be being called in by your ancestors to revive this in your family line, because it was something she's saying maybe a great grandmother of yours used to do. Mm-hmm. Especially with playing cards, not like the tarot cards that we have now, but like the playing cards with with diamonds, and she says that was used a lot when she was around. Okay, so let's get into more about who her energy is. And she says that you will know her. Look, she says you're going to know her because sometimes when she's trying to communicate with you, you will find feathers. Someone out there finds quite a few feathers. And so she's saying like, that's how you know when she's trying to communicate with you. She's saying the spirit world in general is trying to communicate with you that way, to know that they're nearby. So what else? Yeah, I was getting a hint of this. She was saying that there are some ancestral patterns where the people in your family have become afraid of magic, where the people in your family have become afraid to utilize the tools of magic. There's some ancestral patterns of fear even. And she says maybe those are legitimate from her time because people were persecuted. But she says that you are the one who's going to break this pattern. Group number 1, she says you are going to break this pattern for the family. You're going to open them up again. Hey, Cindy. You're going to open them up again to be connected to the occult. That's what she's saying. She says you're going to help your family reconnect to the occult. So let's find out what she's here, like what energy is she here to teach you about? What is it that she wants to teach you right now? She says that right now, it's a good thing that you are a student. Continue to study. Continue to learn. And she's saying not necessarily from books or classes, but continue to connect with her and your other ancestors energetically. She says they can be teachers for you. They are teachers for you. She's saying the more that you learn how to tap in with them, the more that you are going to hone your gifts, the more you're going to realize your gifts. She's saying a lot of this is not passed down through books, it's passed down through, she's saying like a spiritual oral tradition. Yeah, like a spiritual oral tradition. Hi, Martha. Thank you for joining. Yeah. So she's saying that the more that you utilize these tools, and she's saying for some of you, there's a specific tool that your family has used throughout the year. It may be a special deck of playing cards. She says that if someone in the family has saved them, because she's saying there's a possibility they have been passed down and that they are located in some person's possession right now in the family, like in somebody's belongings that may have passed away, you may find this deck of cards. She's saying if there's something like that, and this is getting very specific, but she's speaking to someone where there's a deck of cards in someone's belongings, someone who's passed on. And she says those cards have been passed down and they are a gift to you. Some of you may receive a deck of cards out of the blue. She says those are a gift for you. It's important right now, she's saying, group number 1, that you surrender the power of your logic and learn to communicate with spirit. Learn to communicate with her and learn to communicate with the rest of your spirit team. She says right now it's the slave card is talking about having a special relationship with the divine. And she says that special relationship means to open up channels of communication. She says a lot of, if you are just beginning in any kind of divination, work with doing your readings with spirit. Just work with spirit for now. She's saying it could get confusing for you to work and do readings on other people. She wants you to do readings with them. That's very specific, but she's saying do readings with your ancestors and yourself, meaning she's saying something about making sure that you're practicing that way. I'm trying to ask her if it's more, is there more clarity for that? She just said that when you're doing this readings, read for yourself and ask your ancestors. And that way you're going to begin to strengthen the power of your readings. She does say that you're on a journey right now, especially for those of you who have been picking up and really dabbling with your psychic abilities. She's saying you're on a journey right now, and that journey is going to bring you to a special place. It's going to help you realize your purpose, more about your purpose in this world right now. I don't know if you could see that. But she's saying there's some special work that you have to do that involves your magic. And she's not saying necessarily that it's social media. She's just saying this ability of yours, it's going to come in handy with the work that you're doing or will be doing. She says that your passion and your devotion to this work will change your life. She's really saying if you become a lover of this work, if you become a devotee of this work, you are going to see and witness doors open up for yourself. Like this practice is going to bring you in touch with the divine. And you're going to become a child of the divine through this work. The work is, she's showing me a key. And she says that you're going to start to see the symbol of the key everywhere now, because she's trying to remind you with the key. She's even saying when you get certain kinds of card readings, pick the pile with a key. She's like, that is your pile. The pile with the key is your pile. She's saying that to group number 1. She's like, you will understand later what all of this means. But she says it's important for you to start to learn the language of spirit, to start to understand that they have symbols all around you. They communicate in your dreams. They communicate through nature. And she's like, this is very important that you become more comfortable with nature. Some of you don't go outside enough, she says. She goes, go outside, talk to a tree, hug a tree, leave offerings at the foot of a trunk of a tree. She's saying here that you need to start developing more relationships with nature because that is how they primarily communicate with you. Go for a walk, especially on the full moon. She says the new moon, work with the moon cycles. You're going to start to understand the language of your ancestors and of spirit. Hi, Deidre. Wow. It could be, Deidre. It could be. I mean, the avatars, what I'm going to say is the avatars sometimes, they're just for your pleasure. They don't always align with who's coming through. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. A big part of her message for you all in group number 1, let things go that are weighing heavy on you right now. She's saying that there's something that you keep ruminating on. And she's like, this is going to be your first lesson in working with the divine, which is to let it go. Let it, pass it over to your spirit team. She says, if you will take her up on it, here is your first magic. She's calling it your first magic spell. Your first magic spell is to surrender this worry of yours and give it over to spirit. Give it over to your ancestors. She said, while the veil is thin, give over this worry. She says, some of you in group number 1 have a very specific worry. And if you want to practice your magic, first surrender that worry over and let them handle it. And she says, going forward from now on, if you decide to do this spell, that is what you should do with all of your worries. Let spirit take care of it. Let your ancestors take care of it. She's saying here that some problems are for spirit because they're a little bit more of a spiritual nature. But she says your ancestors can help you with many mundane issues. She's reminding you that your ancestors live in the mundane world right with you. And she's reminding you all that if you, and I hear me too. She says, remember, your ancestors can help you with things like bills, a good interview, things like that, material, mundane things. She says, that's our preview. That's our preview. This is what we do. So call upon us and release your worries, release any doubt over to us. We will handle it. I've personally seen this. Several have it happen to me, and I've seen it happen to other people. She's like, especially, she's calling to attention right now. Someone might be having some kind of block in communication with someone. She's not saying what kind of communication, but she's saying, ask your ancestors to talk to their ancestors. And she says, watch the whole situation turn around. That's for someone. But she's saying, utilize your ancestors. She says, some of you need an ancestor altar until you get comfortable with just communicating with them. But she says if you have a dedicated space for them, and she says it can be simple. It does not need to be elaborate. She says you can put a glass of water and a candle. She's like, it could be real simple. The ancestors are not here to make you broke. She's like, the ancestors do not need a lot of glittery things. They just need your attention. Wow. She says they just need your attention. She's reminding me to mention again, maybe somebody just came in. Someone has a deck of cards that's been passed down in their family. She's like, those are yours now. Get them if someone else is holding on to them. You know how there's certain people in the family who hold on to your grandmother or grandfather's stuff and they're not doing anything with it. She says they're not being used right now by that person. You need to get them. All right, let's go to the tea leaves. She's saying that you're about to experience some success. Sorry about the lighting. You have the success card here. She's saying that success is coming your way. You're about to climb the ladder. This is the ladder card. And she's saying that you will achieve that success if you remember to call upon your ancestors. Call upon them so they can help you. The ones, she said, that are healed. Remember that. It's coming in December. She's like, really soon. She's like, it's coming in December. She's like, something is coming your way, but if you want to clear the road, call upon your ancestors who sit at the feet of spirit. Make sure you're dealing with your healed ancestors. She did want to mention that a couple of times. Don't call upon everyone, just your healed ancestors. Yeah, there was some kind of wall. Some of you have been waiting for something, maybe an answer on a job interview. She's saying there's some kind of wall that was in place. And she's saying if you would like, they could be of assistance to you, your ancestors, but you need to give them permission. You need to call upon them. And so she says, we can't do anything without your permission. She says, we are governed under the laws of free will. This is what she's saying. But she goes, we can help you remove obstacles along your path. Okay. Let's get one more card here. Yeah. She says there is a man. What about this man? A man with dark hair. What about this man? Persevere. Yeah. If you are having a problem with some kind of man, she is saying that that problem is going to come to an end, especially if you allow them to help you. Yes. Hey, Rhoda, welcome. Hey, nice to have you here. She's saying if you're having a problem with a man right now, especially if they have dark hair, let me see. They may have gray and dark hair, or they may have gray hair, they may have black hair. They may have a combination of both. She's saying if you have a problem with them, just keep moving on. She's saying do not give up with this particular problem. This person wants you to give up, but she's saying do not. Keep going. For whatever reason, she's saying it that way. You need to keep going. Okay, last messages from her. Yeah, she's saying basically that the basics of all of your work, she's going back to magic now. She's saying the basics of all of your work, you need to get that down first before you do very complicated things. This is why she wants you to practice doing your readings if you're trying to practice using cards, or if you're new to it, or if you just want to deepen your practice. She's saying quite literally again, practice with them. Practice with your spirit guides and your team and your ancestors. She's saying you will soon feel the rhythm of what you're doing in divination. Because she's saying it's not books. She keeps saying that. It's not books. It's not classes. She's like, you really need to hone into their voice because that's who's communicating with you when you are pulling the cards. Okay. Let's get the last messages. I'm hoping that you all are finding this helpful. Yeah. She's saying many of you are high ranking when it comes to spiritual practices. Many of you come from very high ranking backgrounds. And you've got to understand with this high priest here that some people in your family chose to go the path of the church. She did say this. Some of the people in the family decided to go the path of the church, but your path in your family has a history of the occult, being involved with the occult. And she's saying again, there's a deck of cards somebody has. Go look for those deck of cards that have been passed down in the family. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Rhoda. Yeah, there is a path, she says, that you can take that will be very powerful for you. And that is the path of the occult. If you choose to take it, it will benefit you in your career, in your life, in your success. But she says the choice is yours, because half of your family might decide that they'd rather deal with religion. But she's like, if you want to deal with the occult, know that it is not far away. It is part of your family line. Okay. Yeah, Cindy. She is saying some people's family chose to leave behind the pagan life. They chose to leave behind the magic, the occult. But she's saying if you want to access it again, you will probably find it very easy for yourself. There are plenty of your ancestors that would like to work with you. Okay. So group number 1, that appears to be your message from this ancestor. And we're just going to give thanks to this ancestor for showing up, for offering their wisdom. And we just bless them on their journey, and we thank them. We thank them so much. Okay. So you all, I am going to shuffle the cards and reorganize and clear the energies. And we will move to group number 2. How is everyone tonight? Yeah. A deck. I'm wondering who's hiding. It causes. Yeah. Wow. Really? Then you came just in time for group number 1 then. Yeah. Cindy, you're saying if you ever find a deck within a family. Okay, good. You will tell me. You'll let me know. Yeah. I don't know why that came up a few times. So someone is being told there's a deck in their family that has been passed down. Well, it's not been passed down. It's kind of stuck with somebody right now. So interesting. If it's not a deck, it might be some kind of occult tool, but she made it sound like a card deck. But she made it sound like it was a regular card deck, you all. Don't think it's a tarot deck. But it was used for tarot. You know what I'm saying? Because some people use, back in the day, they just used a regular card deck. So don't go looking for something fancy. It might just be a regular card deck that you would get at the drugstore. You know what I'm saying? But she says it's got energy on it. Okay. We're going to tap out of this energy. Let me just finish shuffling a little bit, and we will go to group number 2. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Yeah. The regular ones were used. Okay, so let's go to group number 2. And let's clear the energies. Please take a moment to like this live stream if you like it. It helps the channel and it helps people find the recording, if you're so kind. Let's clear the energies. Hello, my honeys. Good to see you all here. Group number 2. Hello, group number 2. So let's go to your reading. What does your witch ancestors, what is it that they wish to communicate? What kind of message do they have? Let's go to the ancestor that's showing up right now. Oh, that's interesting. We got the creator of the card decks card. That's kind of interesting. That does mean something to me. But let's pick your ancestor here. The story keeper. The story keeper. This is an ancestor of yours who, in West African tradition, we call it a griot, the story keeper. But this is an ancestor of yours who knows and keeps and records all of the stories that have happened in your bloodline. She's saying that her book, her book is in your Akashic records. She's saying you can access it. If you want to access your Akashic records, her book is in there. It tells the story of your family, stories that might have been forgotten even by people who are in this waking life with you. She described it as a waking life. But she says that if you access your Akashic records, you're going to find on the shelf a special red book. She says it's very purposeful that this book was read. So interesting. She's alluding to something about her and the maker of this deck, who I do not know. But it would be cool to contact the maker of this deck, because she says that the makers of this deck were almost not going to include her in the deck. That's what I'm hearing. But she says her work is very important, and she needed to let someone know that they can access this important work. But let's see if she'll talk about a little bit about what's in this book that she wants to bring to your attention. Let's see what else she wants to say. Yeah, if you want to know what this deck is, it's called Witch. Woman in total control of herself. I got this on a Kickstarter, so I don't know where it's being sold. Maybe it's just being sold everywhere. She's saying right now, group number 2, that it's going to be very important to follow your instincts with something. Let me see. Let's pick another card. Yeah, even trusting in the unknown. I'm going to ask more about it, more details. There's something right now that isn't as obvious to you, she's saying, but it's coming towards you, some information, something you need to know regards to the father line. Interesting. She says something in your father line you need to know, and you need to trust your instincts around it. In your father line, there is, I've heard this before in a reading. I don't know if it's the same thing, but in your father line, there has been a disconnection from a devotional practice. In your father line, people were committed to a particular spiritual practice. And she says that you will find out about it in this book of hers. Again, we're having a reading similar to group one in sense of how the lineages have lost bits of information about the family's spiritual practice. And she's saying the same here. But it needs to be revived, she's saying. It's important to the family's health and healing. She's saying that when you all lost connection with this spiritual practice, and she's saying, sometimes we do because families encounter wars and colonization, things of the such, and things get lost. People become converted. But she says that this particular family member is saying that she's saying that your family was the keeper of important information when it came to this spiritual practice. They were like a family of medicine people, a family of keepers. And she's saying when this disconnection happened, it impacted the men in the family. She's saying, or your paternal line. Not necessarily just the men, but she says it impacted the paternal line. I'm going to get very specific. Someone has the paternal line in their family, your father's line, there's some kind of illness going through it. And she's saying that illness is connected to this disconnection. Even though you may have some medical reason for it, she's saying there's also a spiritual reason. Because there's a disconnection. But she's saying if you resonate with this, then to do your Akashic visit, because in here you will find out something that's very critical towards healing the father line. Wow. What else? Yeah. She's saying that when your family became disconnected from their spiritual, she's calling it a spiritual responsibility. When the family became disconnected from this spiritual responsibility, she is kind of saying for some of you, it's the men in the line lost their fire. The men in their line lost their fire and their passion. She says that some of you live among men in your family or masculines in your family that she's saying they do not have any goals, or they find it hard to stay motivated. She's saying many of them have given up, and some of you in the family wonder why, because they're smart, they're intelligent, but she's saying it's a spiritual illness. They've lost their fire because they've lost their masculine. She's describing it as a masculine duty to this spiritual connection. Do you see how this person has a book too? They're writing too. I just noticed that. It has to do with that. I don't think that she's just the writer. The people in your family, somebody, whoever's being affected by this group number 2, they've lost their passion, maybe because they've lost their ability to write. I'm trying to check in. They may have lost their creative abilities, but there's something about writing. There's something about writing for your family. Let's see if something else comes up. That book is symbolic because it's showing up twice, and I always pay attention to this. 2 different decks. It's showing up writing. I mean, there's a book, and then there's somebody writing something. Pay attention to that if you're resonating with this group. Yeah, that could be it, Cindy. I'll highlight that. Okay. She's saying that the people in your family who are afflicted by this spiritual illness, who are trying to get over it, it could even be you, group number 2, if you're feeling some resonance with this, because she's saying there's something that needs to be reconnected to. You need to reconnect to this family. She's calling it as a responsibility and a gift. She's saying it's also a gift. And when the family put this gift down, because she's showing it like someone just put the book down, and she's saying that patience will be required, because to reconnect with this, it's almost as if you have to set the intention and allow for the information to come back to you. She's saying this is also a part of learning how to work with magic, is to be patient, but also to set your intention. Because she's saying here that oh, interesting. She's saying here that if you wish to know more about this, start doing libations. Do you all know what libations is? Libations is offering liquor, or what we call, they're even called spirits, right? I don't know if they put that on liquor bottles anymore, but they used to be called spirits. And they are spirits because that's how you call in the other world. She's saying you all could start by doing libations to your family members. And she's saying especially those on the father line. The father line needs healing. If you resonate with this group, then you should know that the father line, it's a little weak. She's saying they've lost their passion. She's saying it's not only men, but for some of you, it's quite a few men in your family. Could be some women in your family too, who are related to your father. I hope you're getting that. So you will start doing libations. And she's saying by doing these libations, now here the card it's showing her getting the whiskey. You know, I'm going to tell you all a story about how I figured out what my ancestors like to drink, because sometimes that's a little bit of a chore, right? You've got to reflect back on my ancestors. Of many of them come from the southern part of the United States. So I always kind of thought about there's certain liquors or spirits that deities like, and then you've got to figure out the ones your ancestors like. So I already had in my altar, because I work with a particular deity that likes gin. I already had gin, but one day I was working, this is some years ago. One day I was working with my altar. My ancestors were like, we don't really drink gin. We don't drink gin. I was all like, oh, really? They're like, yeah, can you go get something else? And I was like, oh, and I'm not a big drinker myself. So I went to this liquor store. And I just slowly started walking up and down the aisles. And I was like, bring it to my attention which one you like. Now, I've had even dreams of I had a dream of my grandfather, and I met him at a bar and he was drinking schnapps. And it was chocolate schnapps. I don't know, but my grandfather came to me in a dream drinking schnapps. and I went and got him schnapps. But this other time I had to go up and down the aisles, and it's like I rested on some corn whiskey. And corn whiskey, that's probably right from where my family is from. So it's kind of like when you're doing this ancestral work, especially when you're doing the offerings, just go to the store. It's going to become clear what needs to go on your offering. My ancestors like a little piece of German chocolate cake too. They're like, a little dessert would be nice. And I'm all like, oh, okay. And sometimes because I'm a vegan, I tell them, listen, I have a problem fixing that stuff in my house, chicken, pork. And I go, is it okay if I go buy it already prepared? And they're like, yeah, we'll let you know who to buy it from. And it was so funny because when I lived in Oakland, I went to the grocery store and it had like a deli in there. And I swear to you, the woman behind the counter looked like one of my old aunts. And I was all like, she's the one. And I remember always getting my chicken offerings or whatever from her because I was all like, she made it. So I'm just saying those synchronicities start to happen with the offerings. So going back to this reading group number 2, start doing the libations if you're interested in all of this. If this is what resonates with you, they're saying the libations are a good way to communicate with them. Okay, let's go back to what is it that they want you to recognize, group number 2. They want you to recognize that you can call upon them. We have the damsel card. I'm trying to get the light out of here. We have the damsel card. They're saying that you can call upon them, that your understanding of them and your understanding of yourself will become much more clear by working with them. This is another group of ancestors that really want to work with you. They say that you're very beautiful and that you look like someone in the family. Yeah. Maybe there's somebody in somebody's family who you have an old picture of them. They have like longer blonde hair. It's just very specific for someone. They're saying you look like that person, or like your energy is like that person. Deidre, you say you put bourbon. Yeah. Irish whiskey for your Irish folks. Yep. And a Puerto Rican lime. Rum for the, yeah. Rum, you all, if your family are descendants of people who were enslaved, rum. Or the Caribbean. Yeah, all that area, rum. Rum is a good one. Yeah. No, you don't have to stick to just one. There might be a message in all of these for you if you're going to stick around. She is saying this ancestor that she hopes that you will investigate what she's talking about earlier, the book. She really hopes that you will look into it, that you will go into your Akashic records and at least flip over 1 or 2 pages. She says that there is something very important for you to know. But she says it's not going to come out here because it's very specific to someone's family. Even if more than one person does it, you'll find out something specific to your line. She's saying here that you are not a victim of something. Hold on. No, that was the last group. She says you're not a victim of something. Let me see what she's talking about. There's something right now that you feel is keeping you, she's mentioning the word hostage. Yeah, something that feels like, wow. This is going to be very specific, but okay. She's saying that there's something that you feel like you're a victim of, but you want to get revenge. Whoever this is, and this is very specific message. She's just saying, don't seek revenge. Do not seek revenge. You're not a victim. She's like, there is another course of action for you. She says there's another way. There's another course of action. You do not, she's like even saying that you can get spiritual help for this issue. She's like, there's somebody you could go to get spiritual help for this issue. But she's saying, do not seek revenge. Maybe some of you are trying to do it spiritually, and she's saying, do not seek revenge. Take that where it resonates. Yeah, there's something you're rebelling against, something that you don't like. There's something that makes you feel like someone's trying to control you. And she's saying there's options that you haven't considered. One more card. Yeah. Right now, you need to go to someone. The mentor card came out in reverse. There is someone that could help you. They have knowledge. They know how to do these things. You need to seek that person out. Whatever it is that you feel is keeping you bound, she's saying there's someone that can help you get out of this. This person might be a spiritual person, but they can mentor you. They can help you. She said to stay a little vague on that one because it's specifically for someone. So you'll know. She's like, we don't have to get into it, but you'll know. Let's get into the tea leaves, right? Okay. Yeah. Cup. Yeah. She's like, whatever the situation is, we're going back to it, okay? She's like, whatever the situation is, you should learn how to accept valid criticism. There's something going on that makes you feel like somebody's trying to control you. Someone's trying to, be really critical of something that you're doing. Maybe you feel like this person's trying to hold you back. She's like, there may be something that you need to listen to in regards to all of this. She's saying hidden secrets can harm you, though. We have the skull card. Hidden secrets, she says, that can even be about your ancestors, going back to the ancestral line. She's like saying that some things have been tucked away. And that is why she's pointing you to this book, because you need to know some of the secrets. You need to have access to some of the things that have happened in the family, the things that people don't talk about anymore, things that maybe people have been keeping secret. Rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I keep feeling a flip flop with the tea leaves, but she's saying that whoever is in some kind of situation where you feel like you're being controlled, kind of watch out for this person. Just watch out for this person. They can create more trouble for you than it's worth. That is why you're being directed to go to someone with more knowledge of the situation. Yeah. Last few cards. Yeah, she's saying, if you can kind of just go and get some assistance, you're going to bring much more happiness and joy back into your life. But she says, for some of you, whoever this is, it's consuming you. And you're like wondering what you need to do, and you may do something rash. And she's like, don't do it. Just go get the help that you need. Let's get the last few cards, because I think we're kind of coming to an end with this particular group. I think the most important thing that she keeps saying is that you need to access the book if this is your group. All right. Yeah. Look at that. Because she's saying here that you will achieve some kind of wish fulfillment when you access something. But if you look closely, this person is holding their finger up to their lips, meaning I think you're going to access some kind of family secret in these Akashic records. Something you need to know. It's going to be wish fulfillment for you, because I think this hidden piece of information, it's affecting the family line. Because remember, we were talking about the father line. Yeah. 3 of Swords. It's going to help in reverse. It's going to help figure out what was actually She's saying that there's a story in the family of somebody doing some kind of betrayal. But she's like, when you find out what all of this is about, it's going to turn around some of your thoughts about the family's story. Yeah. Some of you, there's a story in your family of someone cheating on someone. But she's saying there's more to the story. Devil's in reverse. You may find out something about that. Anything else? I don't know. There's a few things that this ancestor's saying. Yeah. I think when you do find out whatever it is in your Akashic records, it's going to allow you to extend more compassion and sympathy to your dad's side of the family. That's what I'm hearing. But until that time, there's a lot of misinformation, she says. But again, her message is saying some kind of healing will restore the fire in that line, the passion in that line. It's something that people need. Yeah. That's it, group number 2. Let's thank this ancestor for coming through, for sharing their wisdom, for pointing out this beautiful book that now you know you can access through the Akashic records. She said, look for it. It's red. You will see it on the shelf. And whatever page opens up, it's for you. It's going to reveal something very interesting. Okay, my honeys, let's shuffle the deck and clear the energy. Ashe, yeah. Thank you, ancestor. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for showing up here tonight. We appreciate your guidance and your wisdom. Thank you so much. Storyteller. Okay, so let's clear the energies. You're welcome. She's still talking. But I'm not going to get into it. I'm clearing the energies. All right. Okay, and we are going to go to group number 3. And please take a moment to like the live stream if you haven't already. It helps people find the recording to this reading. I appreciate you all for joining me here tonight. Let's clear the energies with a little Palo Santo. How have you all been doing? I really get that the ancestors want more connection from folks right now. These last 2 groups, they're like, come back to us. We got some information for you. All right, let's clear the energies with some sound. Okay, my honeys. So we are on group number 3, and we're just going to invite in those ancestors that sit at the feet of spirit that have a special message for group number 3. What ancestor is coming forward for group number 3? Wow. We had the storyteller, the last one. Now we have the songstress. The songstress. I don't know why that's making me smile. Wow. I'm being directed to read a little bit about this one. The songstress, the number is 11. Okay. So if you've been seeing 1111, this could be your pile. Let's see. The songstress, it says, when was the last time you had a conversation with the moon? Made music for the night sky, sang songs to the stars. When's the last time you showed up fully just as you are and offered your voice to the universe, which incidentally means one song? Many of us let the idea of perfect get in the way of good. We refuse to make an offering of art, music, service, ideas, mission, or soulcraft because we feel we aren't polished enough yet. We aren't accomplished enough yet, not educated or experienced or professional enough yet, or that we are too much, too unoriginal, too, not enough. So this ancestor is coming forth, you all, in group number 3, because she knows that on this earth, as well as in the sky, as well in the moon, that you have and you share with her a beautiful song of spirit. And she says that you must sing this song, whether you're professional or not. She's like, whether you think you are a singer or not, she's like, you need music to come from your throat chakra. She says that singing now is going to release some of the things that you have pent up inside of you. She's saying singing is going to help you shine. This ancestor is saying that singing is your medicine. And she keeps saying, professional or not, you must sing. You must express, you know? Let's find out more about what she has to say. For some of you, a harp is coming through for whatever reason. Do you play it? Do you want to learn it? Harps are beautiful. For others of you, there's something about the moon here. Yeah, look at that. You got shapeshifter. It's time, she's saying, to transform enough to reach and access your gifts. Some of you are very gifted. She's saying that there's somebody listening to this who doesn't even know how powerful their voice is. And she's saying that for some of you, maybe it was shut down and that you need to heal. And when you heal, you're going to have access to this voice. Yeah, harpists are really cool. I used to know a couple of them. You know, one that played like a smaller harp and one that played really huge. They kind of is a small community. They all know each other. Many of them know each other. There's something about you being in some kind of transition period, group number 3. You're changing. You're healing. And she says your voice is a vital part of that. What else? Yeah. Whether it's about the song or not, she says that there is something that needs to be cleared in this area. That many people in your ancestral line, their voice has been shut down. They have been made silent by something. And she says you're going to heal this ancestral pattern of silence. And she's like, one of these things that you can do to kind of strengthen this area is to sing. It may not mean that you're becoming a singer or that you will do that publicly, but she's saying it's going to help you heal this throat chakra. She says that some of you come from a family that's very silent. People really don't talk. People really don't express. It's almost as if the family's stoic, she's pointing out. And here it is. She says that the family has been inflicted with some kind of trauma. A trauma that well, she said trauma, but for some of you, it's a curse. Like somebody was silenced in the family. I want to find out more about that, because she's saying you need to invoke. Rach is not your family. You need to invoke healing around the voice. Yeah, Fire Guardian came up again. There's something passionate, but she's explaining, it's almost as if the passion is not expressed in the family. The family, it feels like she keeps showing me like gray. She keeps showing me that there is like a lot of darkness in the family when it comes to expressing themselves. Your brother lost his voice. Oh, wow. Yeah, like mute. Did he become selectively mute? Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Cindy. Yeah. Because that can happen to children even. It's popular with children, but some adults too become selectively mute, meaning they don't speak, or if they do speak, it's only to like a particular person or at a particular time. Yeah, it could do with trauma, this particular ancestor is saying. And so to heal, there is something that she's calling you to do, group number 3, is to go within and contact what needs to be expressed. Some of this will be recovered. Like, I'm glad he recovered, Cindy, because, she's saying that this is all part of a healing process. To go within and access what has been silenced, to access what people no longer speak about in the family. She's really pointing out that someone's family is distinctively silent. Like when you all gather together, there's not a lot of gregarious kind of conversation. Things feel, she's describing it like church. She's like quiet as church mice. Almost like nothing is being talked about. There's not even an argument, just silence. Very interesting. Okay, what else does she have to say? Yeah. It's time to look into this, especially if you're the one in the family that's a little bit of a black sheep. If you're the one in the family that's a little bit louder than everyone, it's time to look into this. Why have people become silent? Why have people stopped talking to each other? For some of you, she says that this might be around grief, unexpressed grief. Yeah. The witch rune, the throat chakra. Deidre, I'm going to put that so that people can read it as well. Yeah. Yeah. But it's time. She's calling you into the role of the teacher. She's saying that it's time for you, because someone here has a voice. She's like, even if you don't, you may feel it. There's somebody here has a voice for the family. Whether that's singing, she's saying singing would heal that, but there's also something about using your voice in the family, speaking up, speaking out. She's saying somebody in this group, when you get bored, you're just loud, randomly loud. And you're always being told, can you be quiet? Can you? Yeah, if that's you, then you're the one that's going to start breaking open the family's throat chakra. You're going to sing. Maybe when you were a little kid, whoever this is I'm tapping into, you were a little kid, you would just sing, and people are always like, shh, can you shh? And there's something that you might even get in life, even outside of your family, of people always telling you to be quiet, tone it down. She's like, this is not, she goes, your medicine needs to express. You need to be loud. In fact, she's saying if you're in environments where you can't express and you can't be your loud self, that's not for you. She's saying for whoever this is, your voice is also very seductive. That people will end up following you for this voice. Someone is about ready to like bust open their voice. I don't know. I mean, sometimes when I'm watching certain tarot readers, they start singing and I'm all like, damn, that person has a great voice, you know, even if they're just humming something. Yeah, she's saying it's time to change all of that. An alchemical change will happen as you start to focus on this part. She's saying you can send Reiki to it. You can still send healing energy to it. But she's saying your fastest route is to just start singing. That's your fastest route, is just to sing. Wow. Raj, is this you? Just to start opening up. She's like, the more that you do it, the more random you do it. She's like, it's making you free. She's like, really, this is an action of liberation. She's showing that some of you can go join a choir or something. She's like, it doesn't have to be a religious choir. It could just be like a choir. You know what I mean? Like sometimes there's community choirs. She's showing someone being on stage. Maybe you're going to be in a musical, whatever it is. She's like, use it. It's going to liberate you. It's going to help you change patterns in the family. It's going to help you specifically, group number 3, retrieve some kind of passion. And it's going to help the silencing of that bloodline. Yeah. She's like in the shower, singing Disney. Nobody's critiquing you at home. Well, maybe some people will be. I don't know if you live with other folks. But yeah, there's something here about healing your throat chakra. Yeah, you have the engineer here, and it's speaking to creative energy. You have a talent for it. And for the engineer specifically, it's talking about this talent that you have to come up with ideas, creative ideas when it comes to solving problems. And she's saying here that if you use this energy of the detective, if you seek it out, you're going to find the answer, because that is your voice. You need to retrieve it. You need to use it. And since she is the songstress, she says she's advocating for the song, for the singing. But you know, it's up to you. Yeah, you know, a lot of times when I'm listening to famous singers, there's so many that have voices that are unconventional. I think even though I always heard this story about Sade. Like Sade, she went and auditioned with this band, and they were like, we don't really like your voice, you know, like, and she was just like, oh, okay. But you know, her voice, when you think about it, it is not that usual. It's not that Mariah Carey style, right? It's like so different and beautiful. And if she had listened to that, we would not have had the pleasure of her voice, right? Even there's some men singers that I'm like, you know what? Their voice isn't conventionally the you know, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure that band is in regret. Deidre, that band, I think their name, and I think they were kind of semi-popular. I think their name was Slade. Don't quote me on it. Fact check me. Their name might have been Slade, that band that rejected her. You have kitchen witchery. It says here, abundance flows easily, effortlessly into your life. Yeah, again, like how the other ancestors of other groups have said, if you tap into this power, you are really going to achieve a lot of abundance in your life. This ancestor is saying there's something about your voice that you will be able to do things that you've never even thought about doing. She's even saying for some of you, maybe you'll become a podcaster. There's something about using your voice to even just present or speak. There's something about opening up this throat chakra for your career, even for your prosperity. Very interesting. Okay, let's go to the tea leaves. Yeah, their name was not Sade, right? This is why you cannot listen to people when it comes to your creativity. I mean, you've got to just create from the heart, y'all. Yeah. You've been thinking about podcasting, Raj? What are you going to podcast on? I'd listen to it. Let us know. All right, let's pick these tea leaves. I did all that shuffling and then they said pick from this one. Okay. They're pointing to the month of May for whatever reason. Wreath. Sorrow over loss. That was the second time that I'm hearing this, that some of that family silence could have been grief related. Okay. Caterpillar, things will not always be this way. Yeah, she's pointing, this ancestor is pointing to things really changing with this use of your voice. You're going to see a very huge shift in your life. Cup. Yeah. I think even though the cup says you should be open to criticism, I think this is like what she's saying is like, don't actually, let it be reversed. Like, don't worry about the criticism. It's for you to utilize your voice and to become comfortable. I'm hearing yourself. Teapot. This is so interesting. Tea and teapot. Sorry if you all can't see it. These cards are yellow. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. All right. So for some of you, it is going to call in even beautiful relationships utilizing your voice. Okay. New home, new attitude. For some of you, you're going to realize even a new life for yourself. You may move, you may acquire a home. So I don't know. She's just pointing out some blessings here. Let me go to the tarot and we will kind of wrap it up. But she is saying here that this healing is going to provide you, look at that, with all the fruits, many options in your life. Keep working. Keep recognizing that this will do the podcasting. If I didn't encourage you, Raj, yeah, you're getting encouraged by Deidre. Do the podcasting. Start it. Yeah. Even this use of your voice more, it's going to transform your life. We got the tower. It's going to, like, day and night. People are going to be like, who's that? I haven't heard this person. And it's almost going to be like a shift happens magically. She's pointing out magically will happen. What else? Yeah. The devil card is in reverse here. Very interesting. It's almost like she's saying this particular healing of yours, it's going to release you from some, I don't know, some addictive behaviors maybe. some things that you've kind of clung to? Oh, I'm hearing it. It's kind of like you've been maybe clinging to some of you that you don't have a good voice, or people don't want to hear your voice, or your voice is irritating, or you're too loud. She's like, it's going to release you from all of these kind of like, I'm hearing them unproductive beliefs about yourself. Yeah. What? It's happening in 2025? Is that happening, Raj? Yeah, now is not the time to wait. You hear this, Raj? It's not the time to wait anymore. Hangman's in reverse. It's time to act. It's time to move. Yeah. It's time to move on your dreams. And don't let people come between you and your dreams. 3 of Swords doesn't always have to be another person. It could be criticism coming between you and your dreams. Don't let other people become between you and your dreams. You and your healing, I'm hearing as well. Last few cards. Someone's going to realize a relationship here. I saw same sex. Doesn't have to be, but it could be. You're going to realize somebody who really loves your talent, someone who's going to support you. That can happen too, she's saying, when you kind of just realize a new part of yourself. You know, like you open yourself up to new energies, and really you're being told that this is your gold. This is your big pinnacle. Opening up your voice, okay? Group number 3. Yeah. Yeah. Like opening up your desire. She's saying it here. You're going to realize many great things in your life by putting yourself back in contact with your desire. Very important, you know? So I think that's it, group number 3. You got the songstress. Group number 2 had the storyteller. That's very interesting, these particular ancestors that are coming forward. But we want to thank the songstress, the ancestors of group number 3. Thank you for coming forward. So beautiful. And we got somebody realizing a podcast that we're all going to listen to, Raj, because you're going to share it with us. No pressure. But we're looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to talk about? We'll let you announce it. You're working on your novel. Yeah, and which is also your voice. You're right, Deidre. So, I mean, don't get too literal, you all. Your voice could be through writing too. Singing, writing, talking. Yeah. Your opinion. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Sinotaka Asha. Is it Asha or Asha? Asha. I like your name. I know I'm butchering it. Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome, Raj. That really would be. Okay, we're going to clear the energy. Thank this ancestor for coming through and offering your wisdom, your healing wisdom. We appreciate it. And we'll go to our very last group, group number 4. Group number 4. I love that there's creative people in this chat. We've got podcasters, we've got authors. Maybe we got some singers. Cindy, are you singing? All right. Right. This is how we got to do it. This is how we've got to do it. I got to say, when I did a lot of my own healing, I did start to feel my voice coming through. You know what I mean? Like the throat chakra, it's a lot of people have that to be cleared. You never know. I just always remember that story about Sade. You just never know, Raj. We would never discourage you. We'd be like, yeah, Raj, we used to talk to Raj all the time, and now they're up on stage singing. Oh, thank you, Deidre. I appreciate that sticker. Thank you so much. That's my first one. I don't even know what to do with a sticker. Y'all have to tell me. I appreciate that, Deidre. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to go and clear the energies. Oh, your grandmother wrote her own songs? That's so cool. That is really cool. I do? Yay! Because your sister could use a little bit of money. I mean, always. Thank you, Deidre. I really appreciate it. Okay, one more shuffle of these tea cards and we're ready. Y'all, I'm having fun with these lives. I mean, you know, I don't have thousands of people, but the people who come, I like. Y'all are some cool folks. Plus, I would be like, listen, if I was in a room full of 16 people, I would feel overwhelmed. So, really. Y'all make it so much fun to do these readings. I really do appreciate it. Keeping me company, commenting on the readings. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to clear the energy and go to group 4. Oh, I like group 4. She was coming through with some real, like, elegant energy here. Okay. And let's burn some Palo Santo. Oh, wow. I don't even know how people do like 1,000 folks, but I guess you get used to it. I mean, I'm part of those sometimes. I don't know about being the facilitator of any of them, but I'll accept it if it happens. All right, clearing the energy, the little Palo Santo, and let's do a little sound. Oh, moderators. Yeah. Ooh. Mm-hmm. I guess that's the next level, moderators. Okay, group number 4. Let's tap into the energy of this ancestor, group number 4. What's the energy of this ancestor? Thank you for coming in and being with us tonight. The Wonder Hunter. Isn't that interesting? I'm looking at this because we're heading into December. I mean, I don't really celebrate Christmas, but look, she's riding a reindeer. All right. They're riding a reindeer. The Wonder Hunter. We've got to read this one because I've never seen the Wonder Hunter, but I don't use this all too often, you all. So that's why I'm reading it. Okay, so it says the Wonder Hunter. Wonder is the state of our original selves. Babies gaze at the world with wide eyes, taking in every marvel. Somehow, as we grow, the senses are overwhelmed by practical concerns and survival skills about fitting in and by finding a way to conform to the demands of our environment. But wonder never really leaves. It may go underground for some time, but you can feel it when gazing at the moon, the stars, the micro-universe of a single flower and all of its details. Wonder is nourishing to the soul and keeps our child heart alive and thriving. To live in wonder is to allow ourselves to experience our own belonging to ourselves, to the world, and the great mysteries of things. Now is the time to put practical concerns to one side and allow yourself to marvel, to take a walk in nature, observe the many miracles around you, search the clouds for friendly shapes, or sit by a river and listen to its stories. You cannot only live by logic, this particular witch ancestor is saying, because if you are just in your logic, you miss out on all the magical things in life. This ancestor's coming through by saying the number on this card is 42, coming to the number 6. So this ancestor is saying that for the people in group number 4, you've been too much in the logical world. Too much. I mean, they're talking about it as the world of man. That's what this ancestor is saying. You're living in the world of man and not in the world of wonder, magic, of the mysteries. And so this particular ancestor group number 4 is calling you back to your magic. Because some of you are really weighed down by the things happening in this world right now that she keeps saying have been created by man. It just means a logical, linear way of thinking. And she's like, you have many things that you can do in this world that are linked to wonder. And she's like, you've got to open yourself up again. You've become too weighed down. She's showing kind of a heaviness. And she's like flying in the sky on a reindeer. You know what I mean? It's like she's saying you're too weighed down with a reality. She's saying that's mostly an illusion. She's like, this world that they're giving you, it's not stimulating your imagination. It's not stimulating, I keep hearing, your magic. It's like it's making everything dense. She keeps showing me heavy and dense. Okay, well, let's go to the messages that she has. Yeah, 9 to 5. Suffocating the spirit. Yeah, that will suffocate everything. Look, she's saying group number 4, you all are high priestesses. Regardless of gender, you're in this energy. And she says that really this energy is quite ancient for you. That you may, even some of you may feel a connection to Bast, that goddess Bast, B-A-S-T. Or is it Bast? Sometimes I don't know what the correct pronunciation is. But she says some of you are connected to that. For others of you, this is kind of like a Queen of Wands energy. Meaning she's saying that your magic even infuses your actuality, your sensuality. She's pointing to your, I don't know why, but she's pointing to your reproductive organs needing magical energy. She's saying that even the insides of you need to be awakened, because there's something dense that you've been dealing with. And she's saying that she's pointing to, for those people who have a womb, she's pointing to the fact that that is actually your epicenter. She's saying that you need to start doing womb work if you have a womb, because she's saying that's your epicenter, not your brain. She's like, this is actually your brain. And she's pointing to and she's saying that because when she holds that, I think she's holding a sistrum, but that sistrum is in the shape of the womb. Because that's kind of like the ankh too. The ankh has like the womb and the phallus going into it. That's kind of like the symbolism of the ankh. But the sistrum, she's like pointing to needing to do, yeah, Cindy, this might be sacral work. But she's also pointing to just like infusing your internal system with energy. She's saying some kind of healing needs to happen that way. That you don't want to get too dense and too weighed down with linear energy. She's showing that it could be, she's saying that these two need to exist in balance. You have the warrior here, which, could be like masculine energy. She's just saying like the two need a balance. But she's saying this is the masculine energy that really we should be balancing the feminine with. because she's saying this masculine energy is not toxic. It's not weighed down by patriarchy. It's actually part of nature. It's actually existing and coexisting with the feminine. So she's saying here that there needs to be a balance of this. But she's not saying just balance with any old masculine, like she's saying this balance energy needs to be of a very sacred, balance between the two. Yeah, she's saying something about when you start to connect with these energies, you're going to find that a lot of your fear goes away. Because she's saying right now, focusing in this imbalance right now of being mostly in a world of, she keeps calling it a world of man. I think just being in a toxic masculine world. She's saying that world, she says it keeps you in fear. It keeps you it keeps you weak. It keeps you feeling as if you can't change things. And she's saying that this energy that you need to be in is one of change, because you are change makers. But she's saying right now it's because you're too much in some dense toxic masculinity, and it's keeping you in fear. She keeps pointing that out. Yeah. She's like, toxic masculinity is keeping a lot of people in fear, and they're making decisions from a place of fear. And so she's saying here that, look at this. She's like, it's like Father Sky. We need to retrieve this kind of energy, the kind of energy that lets you trust in the unknown. Because right now, the feminine she's showing is holding too much of the mystery, and we need for the masculine energy to be in its true expression. Wow. I don't know why. Group number 4 always seems to be bringing in some deep gems, but I could be wrong. I mean, all the groups, but really, she's saying that right now, the divine feminine can't uphold the world. She's kind of showing it like that. We need for the healed masculine to come in. It has to come in and offer its version of trusting in the mysteries. Right now, it's not doing that. It's very fact-based. It's very based on what you see is what you get. She's like WYSIWYG. You know that expression, WYSIWYG? What you see is what you get. And she's like, this is not the kind of energy that we need the masculine to be in. We need the masculine to see from a higher perspective. The eagle is here. And when it does, then it can work alongside. She's showing it this way. It can work alongside the most ancient principles of the feminine. Wow. She said one more card from here. Okay. Oh, well, I got 2. Right now, she's saying you're going to need to trust your talents as things change, because things are changing. But she says the more that you stay in the dense energy of what this world is offering you, you're going to find it harder and harder to be creative, to stay out of it or to get out of it. She's saying right now you need to understand that depending on how some things go in the next few days, she's like, you may find that the feminine energy is going to get more and more under attack. So it's going to be important for you as individuals to really tap into the balance of things. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what else she has to say. She's saying, especially if you're looking to shift out of something, If you're looking to change your life in some way, maybe it's your career, maybe it's your social group. Yeah. Maybe it's something about money too. She's saying that this energy that you need to employ, this balance, it's important right now. Some of you are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, or maybe you are. Yeah. I'm going to put that up. Thank you, Deidre. Because she's saying right now, if you've been thinking about a creative idea or going into business for yourself, she's like, it's really going to be the energy you want to be in, balancing your feminine and masculine, your yin and your yang. She is saying that you need to come from that perspective because it's going to help you with your success. It's going to help you realize your wonder again. It's going to open you up to new and creative ideas. Even if your business is not a creative business, she's saying that when you open up and balance these energies, you're going to find a very unique, innovative way to do the work you're doing. But right now, you're kind of stuck in some kind of density. She keeps showing it that way. And so you need to free yourself up, this ancestor is saying. Yeah, she goes, you need to rebel against. Some of you are in some kind of career or maybe some field, field of work that's very, it's been expressing itself very conservatively. And she's like, you can rebel against that and start doing something your own way. You really could start doing something. Yeah, Cindy, self-mastery does require work. It requires for you, and it requires for you, she's saying, to step out the box. Some of you keep thinking your work can only go one way or be done one way. And she's saying, no, there's so many different ways that you could do your work, but you need to be in the energy of that creativity. You need to be in this wonder. And she says this wonder is going to show you how to bust out of the limits. Yeah. Yeah. The night is coming up here, and it came up in reverse. She's saying, be careful who you give your allegiance to, especially when it comes to the work you're doing. There's something about you needing to move beyond limits, not stay in limits. And she's saying it could be someone, or it could be an organization, and could be a company. Take it where it resonates. But she's saying this allegiance is keeping you under the foot of something when you need to be able to breathe and express and create. So she's saying someone in this reading, if it's specific, be careful of your allegiances because they're keeping you small. And you need to be bigger. You need to expand. She said a few more cards here. Yeah, look. If some of you are indeed, and I want to expand on the idea of the artist, it's the creator, right? You're creating something. You could be cooking. You could be painting. You could be singing. But look at you all. Remember this whole reading? I think this is why this collective is so powerful, because this whole entire few groups, right, have been about creativity, from the storyteller to the songstress, and now she's pointing to something. Your creative force is really going to lead you somewhere. It's going to lead you out of limitations, group number 4. And she's saying, if you're an artist of some sort, this card was sticking out too, you are about to change at the alchemical level. Your creativity is going to change all of who you are. And it doesn't mean you have to be the traditional, what we think of as a traditional artist. It could mean that you are creative. You're going to be a creative force in whatever field or career you're working in. Someone out there who's listening to this reading, you have a very innovative idea, something that's never been done before. Maybe it's tickling at you and you're kind of trying to figure out, how would I exactly do this? She's saying, drop into that. Drop into that, because that idea is going to take you places. Wow. Wow. Okay, one more. Yeah. It's literally going to put you in queen energy. It's going to allow you to lead people. Some of you have an idea that's going to put you up as a leader in whatever particular field you're in. Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of that has to happen, Deidre. Like, we give up on the idea that we need outside people to tell us, that's a good idea, I would do that. Just go ahead and do it. Because she's saying the queen doesn't have to ask. The queen is prosperous enough, a leader enough to support the whole dom, the whole kingdom, the whole queendom with her ideas. And her ideas actually help other people. It protects other people, I'm hearing even. Yeah, the artist now has arrived. You're right, Cindy. It's like, first we had, the spiritualist, then we had the songstress and the writer, right? The storyteller, rather. And now we have the artist. Very interesting. Let's see what else she's saying here. Got my Halloween deck because it is Halloween. Wow. Ghost whisperer. Be still in the whispers that ebb and flow through the silence. She's saying here that the more that you listen to yourself, and sometimes that requires a certain kind of time with yourself to understand what is it that you're hearing. Because she's saying it's on the tip of someone's tongue, even, the idea that they want to pursue. But she's saying it would help you to go within and just sit with yourself for a moment and hear clearly. Because your idea, it's coming into focus. She's saying one more card here from this deck. So let's take it. What else do you have to share with us? Cacao. Have any of you all been to a cacao ceremony? Have you ever drunk ceremonial cacao? Really, the card says you are loved, you are held, and you are already everything that you seek. I think that was the message. You are loved, you are held, and you are already everything that you seek. So I think this opening for you, it's just giving you access to yourself. That's what she's saying. You're getting access to something that's already within you. Look at that wisdom sitting on your shoulder. Yeah. Some of you might want to do a cacao ceremony. You might want to. Cacao, quiet as kept, is not like Hershey's cocoa. It has beautiful powers when you drink it ceremonially. It can be quite opening. So that's for somebody. But the bigger message was that you are already that thing. And there's something here that you need to understand about how you're shifting, because she's showing that you're shifting out of limitation. Has anybody ever watched the movie The Wiz? I mean, it's a little old, but it's like a soulful version of The Wizard of Oz. Anyway, towards the end of that film, the wicked witch had these people in a factory working for her, and they all had these like really weird, like kind of like spongy looking bodies. And then once Dorothy realized herself, they began to realize their selves. Oh, I'm remembering this for a reason because spirit is coming through. That scene where they start to realize who they are, and they're all singing, "Can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel a brand new day?" And as they're like singing the songs, there's a moment where they kind of find a zipper and they're like unzipping this like fluffy part of who they are, and it steps out these really beautiful dancers, and these people start dancing. That scene is for somebody. She's showing you that when you realize this creativity, when you realize and really kind of open yourself up to whatever idea this is, whatever artistry this will be, she's like, really, you are going to drop away something that's been weighing you down, something that's been keeping you contained. Wow, it's in that scene. If you can watch The Wiz or find it on YouTube, it's that last scene. It's the very last scene and one of the last scenes in the movie. And it's kind of like these people become liberated. It was just like a beautiful, powerful scene. Okay, let's go to the tea leaves and then we'll go to the last few tarot cards. You know that movie, Deidre? I don't know. Sometimes I mention old movies and I'm all like, were people born back? I'm older. Okay, crib, birth, conception. You know what she's saying symbolically here with this crib is that you're going to rebirth yourself. But this is all because you are in this process of rebirthing who you really are. Some of you have realized that a lot of your life has just been kind of defined by conventional, like maybe we were told to graduate from high school, go to college, get a job, that kind of thing. She says now you're going to realize your passions, a new you. Did we get that card too? I'm starting to get you're going to realize a more powerful version of yourself with this creativity. We have frying pan. Yeah. She says here it's even symbolic too, because it's like you're going to leave the thing that it's almost like she's describing or showing me here that the life that you're going to have prior to liberating yourself, it feels like you have to add heat to your life right now. Like you have to add passion to your life right now. I don't know why she's explaining it this way. I'm Gen X too. Haha, you definitely know the whiz. Me too. So it's like she's saying right now, the life you have right now is kind of like the life you have to add fire to. It's not coming from internally coming from you. It's like you have to feel like she's saying this world, it tries to offer you man-made passion, meaning in the form of money. Like if we pay you more money, will you be more happy to do this job? Usually not. Usually not. Not if it's something that doesn't resonate with you, right? Because that's how you have all these people out here. They make a lot of money, but they're so unhappy because they're not in their passion. And she's saying when you tap into that fire within you, which is part of the wonder, which is part of the mystery, then you're not in the frying pan anymore. She's reminding me of that experiment. I think it's it was very harmful, but of the frog in the boiling water. If you put a frog in water and it's just the right temperature, the room temperature, and you slowly bring it to the boil, the frog is not even noticing that the water's getting hotter and hotter. And she's describing that many people are living that life right now. One of, hey, Cicada, good to see you. Happy Halloween. She's saying a lot of people are living that life right now. One of artificial fire, one of artificial passion. She's like, it's time to go find your passion. It's time for you to ignite that within you. Because when she says find it, she's like finding it inside of you, finding it through your creativity. Yeah, you got the bridge here. She's like, you are going to find a way to bridge your heart and your heart's desires with your material life. You will find it. But she's like, if you're in a lifeless, dead end job, she's like, find your passion. Find it. It's inside of you. Yeah, many of you are going to go on a journey because some of this passion that's inside of you, it has to be uncovered. And she's saying it might be a mental journey. It might be a physical journey. You know, there's a reason why indigenous communities, they give you things like Vision Quest. They give you things that are initiatory to do, because there's something about your mind and your body in unison needing to be in an initiatory process, meaning you need to challenge yourself. You need to believe you could do something. And so that's why our indigenous ancestors knew that when we were coming of age, we needed this challenge. We needed to know that we could set a goal and an intention and complete it. That's what's missing from this society, is there's no intentional initiation. You can get initiated by many things, but there's not an intentional one. When my son was coming of age, I got together with a few parents where we lived, and we created an initiation. It was based on some traditional things, but we created it because we understood in our children's development that they needed a challenge. They needed to understand the transition between being a child and going into adulthood. You know, the road of adulthood. You're not quite an adult when you become a teenager, but you are leaving childhood. Somebody needed to hear that. Okay, tarot cards, last few messages. North Star. Yeah, I know that frog experiment, but it is used quite many times to show people that that's kind of the waters we're in. We are being boiled, my friends. We've time for us to notice. Seven of Swords, yeah. To make sure that you don't cheat yourself out of your passion. Sometimes the Seven of Swords is about cheating yourself out of the life that you want to live. Allowing the mucky life to just take your days, day by day. Another day goes by and you haven't fulfilled your dream. So don't get in that pattern. Break free of that pattern and start focusing on your dream. Yeah, manifest your dream, Magician. All of this is kind of coming together, right? Is that you, because look, there's another book. You know, you have to write this version of your life, she's saying. You have to write and create this version of your life. No one's going to give it to you. You have to create it. And she's saying your ancestors are here to support you in creating that life. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to fear failure. She's like, everything is going to be a beautiful lesson for you. So when you see it that way, starting new things, believing in yourself, she's like, it's all lessons. You just stop getting out of the thinking of failure and success. She's like, it's not black and white like that. She's like, you start to feel your dreams and you're going to see where you need to go. Some paths will show you, this is not really the one, and you'll course correct. She's like, think of it as course correcting versus failure, versus something's not working. Yeah. Look at that. I said that and the strength card came up. She was like, yeah, be in your confidence. Because the lion, what is that saying? And someone put it in the chat. The lion does not concern itself with the thought of sheep. And that is something she's saying you need to notice. It goes back to what you were saying, Deidre, about that outside validation. It's not going to work. Yeah, you're going to realize the world. And she says, if you look closely, trying to show you all the card versus the light, she goes, we are holding your hand through all of this. Rely on us. She says, this is the message that all the ancestors will give you. Rely on your ancestors. Ask us to help you. We are here for you. The healed one of us. Those of us who've done our work. We're here for you. The lion does not concern itself with the thoughts of sheep. Yeah. Things are not happening to me. They are happening for me. Yeah, I like both of these, you all. Put them up. I'm going to put them both up. But that's it. She's saying that, the time has come to live your life. Your life. Not the life that's been prescribed for you. Your life. Yeah. For some of you, the time has come for you to partner up. Live your life. This isn't only about partnership, though. The lovers could also be about your two selves, remember? your sun and your moon, bringing those sun and moon together. She's also saying that, yeah, offer yourself the cup. Be the first one to sip from your cup. This is very specific. She's saying some of you, you're letting everybody sip from your cup except you. That's for somebody. You know who you are. Yeah. She's like saying, realize this wish fulfillment by understanding that you need to provide these things first to yourself. And realizing how these cups can nourish you, help you grow. And when you do that, you're going to realize that this life is not against you. It's completely for you. It's just that you've been following someone's formula. She's like, this life is not formulaic. You were born here with your own destiny. I've mentioned this a few times, but she says to say it again. Your fate is what you were born into. It's the formula that you've been dropped into based on where you were born, who you were born to, their circumstances. She's saying your destiny is what you create. Your destiny is always in your hands. But you can live a fated life if you want to. She's like, it's up to you. Or you can live a life that is created for your destiny, by your destiny. She goes, everybody, she's saying this right now, everybody can reap prosperity when they live their life, their destined life. But she's like, you're a little locked up. You're a little limited when you're living your fated life. But you get to decide. You get to decide. Any other messages, Spirit, ancestors? They're saying no. They're saying you've heard, if you've been here the whole time, you've heard from some really great ancestors, I'm hearing. And they're all ready to hear from you. They're saying, invite us in. Let us work with you. We are your old witchy ancestors. We've got all the recipes for a beautiful life. We're here to help you achieve the magic that is your life. So my honeys, it looks like this is where we have landed. We're going to give thanks to this ancestor. Isn't she like so hot? She's like in her gold. And she's like, we want to give her thanks for coming to us and offering her wisdom. And yeah, For the rest of y'all, for offering your wisdom in the chat and the comments, please like this video so other people can find the recording. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you all's company tonight on Halloween. Yeah, this ancestor wisdom, I love it. It doesn't hesitate to help us all out. And I feel very honored you all allowed me to channel that through. So thank you so much. And yeah, if you have any other suggestions for readings, let me know. I hope that you all sleep restfully while the veil is thin. I don't know. I'm being told sleep with a little bowl of water under your bed tonight, just to make sure the right energies come to you through your dreams. Okay. All right, my honeys. Take care. It was good seeing you all. All right. We'll see each other soon.